It's funny, of course, but so far everything really is going according to the Kremlin's plan. That is a global catastrophe in which everyone will be involved. And the situation is hopeless because it requires an act of the highest courage from an absolute coward. That's the whole ever-growing nightmare. It could be readily resolved in merely 10 minutes if the Kremlin's patient admitted that the unprovoked invasion and the subsequent war were his monstrous and egregious mistake. Of course, nothing would be forgiven, but this mounting disaster would come to a halt. And even Putin himself would have a chance to go down in history, not as filth and not as a maniac. In the end, he would at least have a chance to be hanged by the neck. But now, the only place guaranteed to him in history is as filth and a maniac. But Putin is physiologically incapable of admitting mistakes. He is incapable of such courage. He is weak-willed, mind. He is spectacularly cowardly, and on his 73rd birthday, he reeked of war more than usual. And Dmitry Medvedev, whom Donald Trump nicknamed stupid, seems to be a political creature utterly crushed by Trump's heavy, imposing yellow heel. But nevertheless, Medvedev clearly knows how to please his powerful master. And in his invective, he immediately writes, but in truth, he is afraid to touch Trump. He writes that the main thing is for the dim-witted Europeans to feel for themselves what the danger of war is, so that they are afraid and trembling like dumb animals in a herd being driven to the slaughterhouse. And a painful end, well, that's basically it. Meanwhile, Medvedev has lost his stylistic sharpness. Perhaps he isn't the one writing now, but his earlier ones, his first about Satan's piglets, were at times truly brilliant. But now it's all really just, well, such boring, bland diatribes with no literary interest whatsoever, just none at all. Well, then take a close look, really study Putin's face. It's clear that this creature will never admit to his mistakes, to the absurdity of his orders, or to the criminality of his actions. He's a coward, spineless. And on his 73rd birthday, once again, he found himself celebrating. On his 73rd birthday, he gathered his gang and with that familiar robot vacuum cleaner voice, repeated that Russia must see the special operation through to the end and achieve all its stated goals. With this, he buried all illusions, all of Trump's words, all the hopes of the world. But this is already the 4th year of the war, and by now everything has become clear to everyone. No imperial arrogance, no lofty words about special operations or Russia. None of that can hide the most obvious thing anymore. It's all as simple as a kilo of carrots. What Putin is so zealously engaged in is not geopolitics. It's not politics. It's international global criminality. Only a huge gang of murderous bastards dressed up as an army robs and kills its neighbors, openly seizing their land and destroying their cities. The actions of this army are praised by a gang of bearded swindlers dressed in the costumes of God's trusted representatives. Here, the Russian Orthodox Church acts as, remember, Unit 731 in the infamous concentration camp which conducted criminal experiments. The Russian Orthodox Church is doing almost the same thing, mutilating the consciousness of the entire population. At the same time, television instills the idea that robbery and murder are the highest purpose of a human being. And then there's the gang dressed up as prosecutors and investigators. They imprison, kill, and torture those who get in the way of the Kremlin patient as he robs and rapes. And in this whole mise en scène in the background shuffles the frightened and worn down Russian people who at times feel joy, then nausea, then fear, then joy again from all of it. And the whole world watches this in helpless rage because the thug Putin threatens to blow everything up if anyone tries to stop him from stealing, torturing, and blowing things up. Everyone keeps hoping for something. Everyone hopes. Everything is as always. Hope is killed last. Interestingly, Putin decided to spend his birthday in the imperial tomb at the Peter and Paul Cathedral, and he gathered the generals of the special military operation there as well. Take a look. I've posted this video. You can enjoy this magical spectacle. Of course, all the people involved, without exception, all the figures in this video are extremely vile creatures, up to their ears in the blood of children and women, war criminals, organizers of mass murders, and so on. This is already a common trait among pro-Russian generals. So this company, undoubtedly the most despicable. I'm certain of that. At least half of even these thugs would love nothing more than to do it, to rip an icon off the wall in the heaviest kiot and smash the balding head of the namesake with it. Because even the generals are now aware of the deadliness and the hopelessness of what's happening. But fear, and they know how to be afraid, overpowers this healthy temptation to